Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Oh, let me put my chat window over here. Oh man, where is everybody? I know there's some people here. There's some people.
The NFL season
Oh
will
no.
be back before you know it. Get NFL Sunday Ticket and YouTube.
No. Oh, well, at least I know I'm live. All right. Oh man. But yeah, I got a lot of things to talk about. Cause I actually been sitting on this information for actually a few weeks. That there have been at least three more Demon 170s that I know about that has been having engine issues, two of which that requires brand new engines. So the whole thing that people thought that, oh well, it's only like a small batch of these cars. Once that small batch of cars are just over with, we're not gonna have really any more Demon 170 issues. Apparently not. In April, not April, but I mean August, we had three more cars that went down for engine issues, two of which needs brand new engines. A third one, luckily the engine was saved. And then, it's actually four because the one video I did back in July where everybody thought that I was lying about a Demon 170 that was running around missing a bearing, I actually have an update on that particular car as well too, because that car basically got another engine, and now I had the dealership paperwork to prove what I was saying was true, that Demon 170 did not have a bearing in it. So this is actually official paperwork that is filed by a dealership to Dodge, and Dodge had to replace that engine from what the dealership told them, right? So I know, I mean, I'm going to actually put this in a video so I can actually show the screenshot of the actual paperwork. But the story with that particular demon is pretty wild because that particular demon went through a lot of crap. And then the owner, he went and kind of shared his story on some of the Facebook groups. And then you had so many, I guess, engine experts chime in that, oh, that's impossible. Oh, that is impossible. That car ran without a bearing. That car is impossible to run without a bearing. But I mean, that's what the tech told them. That's what the tech put on the paperwork, and that's what Dodge officially has in their system when you look up the issues with that particular car. So, oh yeah, BLT. I wonder if the Demon 170 crate engines are affected as well. The funny thing you should say about that one too, BLT, because actually, yes, those crate engines are also having problems. Now, I did say in another video a few months ago that one of my power brokers buddies had told me that Dodge took out of the system all the Demon 170 crate engines, specifically the loan blocks and the C170s, because remember Dodge said last year that they were going to sell the C170 engine this year for the Demon 170, for the Demon 170 crate engine version, right? So that engine was in dealers' systems, and my power broker buddy told me that he was able to take an order for somebody. He took the deposit of, like, I guess what, $28,000 for that particular crate engine. But then so many cars had went down between, I think he told me this happened around like April, May, and then he told me back in like June that they took those crate engines out of his system. So now he can't even order anymore. So I'm actually going to reach out to him tomorrow since today was a holiday. Happy Labor Day for some of you guys. I'm actually going to reach out to him tomorrow and see whether or not can he still order Demon 170 crate engines or not. Because the last couple cars that went down needed full replacement crate engines, because everyone else up to this point from I think the first car that had a replacement engine was back in March. right before Racer X's car went down. So from March all the way until like May, there were so many cars that went down. Dodge ran out of loan blocks for the Demon 170. So they had to stop using loan blocks and go and start taking crate engines out of dealers' inventories and put full replacement crate engines in the customers' cars. So that one silver car that everybody's seen the video of about it going down the drag strip and boom, it just blew up at the very end of it. That car needed a full replacement crate engine because there was no loan blocks available. And then you had the situation where there was another car that the car with the bearing that was missing that I've been lying about. Apparently, that car needed a new block because once they went into it, the block was worse than what they thought, or worse than what they thought. Since worse, sir, ain't a word. But it was worse than what the dealership thought it was, and then they had to go and get a replacement crate engine for it. So that led to that car getting a whole new replacement crate engine. So that's where, like, you know, there must be more cars that is going down that even I know about, or even TK knows about, or even OC know about. Because I know I've been, like I said, I haven't really been online in the past 2 months because, as I said in my video today, I've been dealing with family health issues. And if you remember stuff that happened to some of the other YouTubers, like in the last several months, what happened with those scenarios, I'm going to face the same situation in my case. So that's why I've been trying to spend as much time as I have with that person rather than, you know, doing what I normally be doing and being all up in Dodger's business. So that's why I wasn't able to go to Roadkill Nights and a couple other events, because I was supposed to go to Roadkill Nights and go talk to the Dodge CEO, because I've been chatting with him in the background about some of these Demon 170s, and then chat with them about you know, some things that they could do, Dodge can do, to support these current cars for the near future. So but one thing I definitely need to talk to Dodge about, and like I said, I'm gonna elaborate more in my video, is that I think that, man, this is based on the same thing TK's Garage said in one of his videos, that I think that all the Demon 170s need to be basically recalled, and they need to have their technicians go through them, right? To schedule a time for us to bring these cars in, pull the engines out, torque them down to spec, because that seems to be like one thing that's going wrong with a lot of these engines. I'm thinking that whoever put these engines together, they didn't torque these engines down properly. And these engines, over time, stuff is coming loose, and then bam, they're breaking, right? So, I mean, there's like a private Facebook group right now talking about Demon 170 engine issues. And it seemed to be like a current, pretty much like a current theme going on with a lot of these cars, that something went loose and then bam, it got messed up, right? The harmonic balancer from January, that car that had to intervene with Dodge, with that harmonic balancer came off, right? Then you had the car with the Baron. So, I mean, maybe that car came with a Baron in there. Maybe the main caps was loose. Maybe that chewed up the Baron when the customer put E85 in the car, and then the tech couldn't really see a Baron. But from what he says in his documentation, there was no Baron on that daggone crank when he broke the engine down. So when it's in the engine pan, when it went up into a cylinder or whatever, or wherever that daggone Baron went to, that car either came with a Baron and it came off, or it never came with a Baron, period. And then once that car got E85, that's when all heck broke loose. And then I've had people who, you know, in this private Facebook group, they were saying that their techs were telling them that their engines had loose main caps inside their engines. Like, this is multiple engines from multiple people during, like, over a course of the last several months. And then you have the stuff going on from engines all the way from like 60, 70, 80 miles all the way up to, like, I think the highest car that had a engine failure is like 1,300 miles. But it seems to be like a main trend that stuff is loose on these engines and they're coming apart. So maybe it depends on how hard somebody's driving the car. Maybe they're going out, maybe they're going and putting E85 in the car. It's putting more stress on the internals and stuff is coming loose. But like I said, I known about these three engines, well, these three Demon 170s going down for the past few weeks. But like I said, I've been dealing with family issues, so I haven't really had to make a video on them. But it's just like what TK said. Oh, I see you right there, TK. But like, I think what TK was saying that maybe it's time for a recall on the Demon 170 engines because, I mean, a lot of customers are kind of pissed off with the quality issues with this particular car because once you had to get a new Demon 170 block, you pretty much don't have a numbers matching Demon 170 anymore. Because that Demon 170 new block does not have the last four of your VIN stamped on the block. And I mean, maybe, just maybe in the near future, when these cars go up for sale at auctions, they go look at your block because this kind of like a known issue at this point that a lot of these Demon 170s are going down with engine issues. Maybe in the near future, they go look and try to take a look under your engine block to see whether or not you had a replacement engine or not. So maybe that drops your value of your car because, I mean, there's no question that a numbers matching car in general will bring in more money than a car that's not numbers matching. So, I mean, that's why I'm thinking that it is time to have these cars recalled because, like I said, I don't found so many people who's had engine issues, and there's some people who had came out to me that had issues with their car, and they went ahead and sold their car because they're just like over it, right? I mean, I had a guy come and tell me like, TK, if you're still in here, remember the crap where like a lot of these 2023 last call cars were just cracking windshield right there in the middle, and I had a guy reach out to me that his Demon 170 was cracking the windshield in the exact same spot. He got the windshield fixed and he like, bump it, I'm out. There's something going wrong with the rigidity of that car. Window snap, I'm out. I'm selling my car. I'm cutting my losses. So, I mean, like, I need to see how many Demon 170s are still stuck at dealerships because I know several dealers who are still trying to hold out hope that someone's going to be crazy enough to spend $80,000 over a sticker for a Demon 170. But I don't know whether or not anyone's going to do that right now, especially when it's just so prevalent that there are so many of these cars that's having engine issues. Because, I mean, what's to say in another 2-3 years, some of these guys start to come up off their Demon 170 they got sitting in a bubble. And then we got in the back of our heads, like, dang, this car got like 10, 15 miles on it. Majority of the warranty is ran out. And who knows whether or not this car has a dud of an engine. Oh, wow. Oh, I see right there. 378 still at dealers. Wow. I mean, that's a lot of demons still sitting out there. So I mean, man, like honestly, if they're like, if Dodge can do like a quiet recall, right? Dodge can go and take those 378 cars that's still sitting at dealers and no one's going to buy anytime soon. They can go and do that crap and then just quietly see whether or not those cars have issues. Like, go take some of those cars, because they got techs to go fly around the country. Had the dealer go ahead and drop the engine out and just go and just retorque the engine. See whether or not those engines are within spec and torque. Because, I mean, it's kind of crazy with, because apparently even when Dodge told me earlier this year that when they built those Demon 170 engines, every single Demon 170 engine went on a dyno and was ran on a dyno for like, oh God, I got to look at the message that he sent me. Let me go look at this message real quick. Because he texted me. Yeah, okay, here we go. So this is from Dodge. This is from the Dodge CEO himself. Every Demon 170 engine is on a dyno for 42 minutes before it goes into a car. And so, like, well, I'm not gonna show the rest of this text message. I'm not gonna show that part of the text message, but we was basically going back and forth about the car that had the missing bearing, not the missing bearing, the car that had the harmonic balancer that came off. Because apparently it's impossible that happened within the first 90 miles of the car. Because, like I said, according to Dodge, well, here, I'll show it. It's not like it's going to stop anything. Yeah, hold on. Here we go. Oh, come on. Zoom in. Every demon engine is on the dyno for 42 minutes before it goes on a car. Unless the customer is leaving something out of the store, that should have never happened. And this was a story about the harmonic balancer coming off on the car. So I'm just going to say that something is obviously not adding up. If every single engine is ran for 42 minutes, then that Demon 170 harmonic balancer should have fell off while it's on a dyno. I mean, unless they are like just running on the dyno at idle, not going through the RPM range or whatever, then that might be part of the issue, right? They got the engine torqued down to a spec that's not really supposed to be the spec that's supposed to be torqued down to, and then next thing you know, getting the customer cars, we're going through the RPM ranges, and then next thing you know, bam, something falls off, right? I mean, I just had a guy tell me a few weeks ago, his harmonic balancer started chewing up his block. And the next thing you know, he got engine shavings all over his engine compartment. And this should have never happened, right? I mean, apparently, like I said, every Demon 170 engine is ran for 42 minutes on the dyno. Should have never happened. Part shouldn't be just flying off of it, right? But they're flying off. They're coming off. So, I mean, is somebody not torquing this stuff down correctly? Because, I mean, I've seen the same issue with Ram trucks before. I've seen issues to where, like, with the early TRXs, for example, I've had people come to me and tell me that when they got in the TRX for the first time, their front end was wobbling like this. They went and actually had to go and torque down their lug nuts, and they was able to do full spins on it because that's how loose their wheel was. But that TRX made it through, because like if you go watch the videos from Ram on how they assemble all their trucks, they got a dude that has like a torque gun that goes in there and screws every single wheel stud down or wheel lug down at the same exact time and torque them to the right amount. But apparently it wasn't working for the TRX for some reason, right? They go torque them all down. So that truck made it down the it made it down the rest of the assembly line. It went through the buzz, squeak, and rattle track. It went out the building, got stored, put on a train, got drove around a couple times by the transporter, drove around to the dealership, went through a PDI check, made it to a customer's hands, and then within the first few miles of him driving it, his front end vibrating like that. So something tells me there's something broken within the chain of quality from when a vehicle is assembled to when it comes to a customer's hands, right? So, I mean, when the TRX first came out, you guys go and look at videos that I made about that crap, right? That was like one of the biggest things that blew my channel up when I came out and made videos about the quality issues with the Ram TRX. I mean, those videos was like the videos that got my channel started. Cause like once I started publishing those, like I made like 3 videos about the quality issues. Those videos got hundreds of thousands of views and basically started my channel. And it got to the point where it was so bad that I literally had like a montage of like, 2-3 minutes of all the crap that was going on with the TRX back then. From lug nuts being loose, suspension bolts being loose, hoses not being pushed in, and somebody gonna drive down the street and then bam, next thing you know, a hose come off and they got oil or coolant all over the place. So there's nothing to say that when these companies, or basically Stellantis, launches a vehicle, that there's not quality issues that they just let go down the line. Because I've heard from plenty of UAW people that they want to stop the line in order to fix the issue with a vehicle, but their managers and supervisors are telling them, nah, push that thing out because it's going to be a warranty repair. That's why they have a budget for warranty repairs, right? So they rather have defects go down the line because it's cheaper for the line to run than it is to stop the line to fix the issue. And I literally had made those 3 videos about the TRX, and it got to the point where those videos got so much attention that I had the plant manager personally call me to let me know that all those suspension bolts and stuff that was coming loose or being cross-threaded in the Ram TRX, that they was going to fix them, and that I should not see any more problems like that. So the first like 3-4 months of the TRX's life when it came out, those trucks had plenty of issues. Then after that point, stuff got better, but it was wild that we created like a PDF of basically like our own little PDI check that you should do, or had the dealership go through. It was basically like 3 to 5 pages long of all the crap that was on there. So that is a long way of saying that when these new vehicles launch that they're not used to building, there are problems that just sneaks through. And sometimes they know about those problems and the managers tell them to push it through. So there's nothing to say that they didn't know that some of these Demon 170s had issues. They just pushed it through because it was cheaper for them to keep the line running so they get these demons out on the streets, and then just didn't care whether or not there was problems with it because it's a warranty repair. So, I mean, that's what I'm going, like, there's just so much crap going on with a Halo product. The TRX was Ram's Halo product, and that thing was plagued with issues with it really like the first year or two. Those 2021, 2022s, those two had the most issues because they went through the most changes. And then, here we are with the Demon 170. It's a lot of stuff that's changed from a regular Hellcat Red Eye Super Stock. So, that's what I'm going, like, us making that videos, me, TK, OC Motivator, we're not making those videos to devalue the Demon 170 because we can't afford it. We're making these videos to make people aware, because who wants to be stranded in their car somewhere hundreds of miles from home, and then you got to get your car towed to the dealership, and then it sits there, and then it's a prime target to get stolen, right? Because, I mean, I won't leave my Demon 170 at a dealership. That's why I still need to take mine back to the dealership, because I'm not going to be stupid enough to leave my Demon 170 in that dealership overnight. Oh, it's going to be locked up in the building. It's going to be protected. Nah, player. I don't trust you. But yeah, I'm definitely going to make the video tomorrow about all the other new Demon 170s that went down with engine issues. Like I said, there's two sitting at a dealership that needs engines, that waiting on engines. There's a third one that basically almost started to chew the engine block up, right? And then the fourth one was the one with the bearing issue that I lied about, that I had now had the paperwork on. So you got literally 3 out of 4 of them got new engines. And then one of them that got a new engine, that new engine had to be fixed. The crate engine needed to be repaired because some idiot at the plant who assembled a crate engine over torqued the daggone spark plugs. So maybe that's why one of the Demon 170s that had a diode fall out of it and tear up an engine, maybe that engine had the spark plugs over torqued in it. And that's why, boop, the little diode went down in the cylinder block, tore the engine up. So, like I said, it's just wild to think that all the crap that happened with these engines, and, then you got some of these owners that's trying to, like, basically kind of cover it up because we're ruining their investment. But, I mean, who cares? I mean, I don't understand why people buy Dodges for collectors crap. I mean, or not collector, but investments. I mean, yeah, you might make $5,000, $10,000, $15,000 on top of your car, but is that really like life-changing investment money? Who invests like $100,000 to make $5,000-$10,000? Like, the math doesn't even make sense to me, right? So I already know I'm going to piss off a lot of these Demon 170 owners who bought these cars for investments when I make this video for tomorrow and talk about 4 more Demon 170s, three of which needs brand new engines. And I'm gonna go talk to my power broker buddy and see whether or not there's any engines left for these engines to for them to actually put engines in these cars. Who would be dumb enough to steal a car in for repairs? Hey, I mean, that's the main reason why, cars be in the service department for a repair, right? They got a dude that's in the service department as a tech, like, hey, dude, we got a Demon here, man. Shoot, the keys right there, yada, yada, yada. Come break in and steal it. Go tear the car down, strip it. There you go. You got a damn Demon. My red eye Challenger got stolen at Anaheim Dodge dealership 2 years ago. Got it back in 1.5 days. Got 10K from the dealership. They only had to. Well, I couldn't see the part because my little heart's covering it. Put 450 miles on it. What they do? Try to take your car to a takeover or something. Loved by few. But yeah, I'm definitely gonna go, like I said, get back in the groove of things and talk to the Dodge CEO about the issues with these demons, because it is wild that you got 4 more that I know about that has engine issues. And I mean, it's probably going to slow down as it get cold, because I don't think too many people are going to drive their Demon 170s in the wintertime. I mean, I'm probably not going to drive really mine that much in the wintertime, because it doesn't really get cold to like November, December. So I'll probably drive mine for about 2 months and then don't drive it until like maybe like February or whatever, right? But that's just where I live at, because I live in North Carolina, so we have like kind of like a cold few months, and that's it. I think the Z06 gonna be in the same boat. The Z06, it has sticky tires on it too, just like low profile sticky tires. And I don't know when I'm gonna be driving that car in the wintertime. That's why I'm going, like, I need to go ahead and start popping out videos and probably go buy me like a I don't know, like an Escalade V. That way I have something to drive in the wintertime. But oops, my bad about that. But yeah, it's it just wild with these cars, all the crap that's going on. I mean, you just never think that with a car that costs this much money, that went through all this development, that's having all these issues. It's crazy. Like, when Dodge said they was blowing engines, I thought they was lying. I thought they was basically stalling to basically have enough time to get it to pass emissions, because I kind of figured that emissions was part of the reason why they couldn't get the car to actually pass, because the stage kits was delayed for 2-3 years, and then they finally was able to they finally admitted on when they did the Vegas reveal that emissions held up them doing the release of the stage kits for the Challenger and the Charger. So that's why I figured that was a problem with the Demon 170 getting released, that they was having issues with emissions, and that's why they couldn't release it before. That's why I figured that's why they pulled it from SEMA, basically almost 2 years ago now. So when they said they were really blowing engines, they really were blowing engines, and it looked like they have not stopped blowing engines. It looked like they got to a point where maybe Stellantis was like, well, you ain't gonna have that many people that's gonna take these cars to a drag strip and blow the engine under these kind of conditions. So just go ahead and just push these cars out. We'll allocate blah 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 dollars for engine replacements, and that should be it, because we already know from data from 2018 that probably half of these cars are not going to be driven until after the warranty period is over. Because you have a ton of guys that's going to save these cars with delivery miles, never drive them, and then they're going to try to auction them off for a ton of money. But then 5 years later, you're basically going to have the thing where it's going to be kind of crazy. Are those engines going to be any good? Because they've been sitting for 5 years. They might have already have engine issues, and they're outside of warranty period. So some new owner goes and buys one of these Demon 170 that's been sitting for 5 years in somebody's garage in a bubble. What happens when, let's just say something as simple as it gets driven across the auction block at Mecum or Barrett Jackson or whatever. It gets driven, to the little holder area where they hold all the cars at, and then bam. The car eats itself right there. That's not gonna be a good look. So I think probably with like the way things are going, and I think more and more cars are going to be going bad, it may be the situation where like the cars who had engine replacements, they may be more valuable, because at least now the car had an issue, it got fixed by Dodge, and the next person probably doesn't have to worry about them having a potential engine issue as soon as they go grab the car. Ooh, what's up, Michael Knight? Some people could have bought a 01 Corvette and a last call Scat put a price of one marked up Demon. I don't know. I mean, we still don't know, Fulcrum. We still do not know how much money the 01 is going to cost. I mean, I'm thinking it's going to cost another 20, 30 grand on top of a Z06. So my Z06, like I said, it was spec to like 168. So I think a similar spec. I think a similar spec. Oh, I see you, Ghost. See you texting me on stream, but I think that a similar spec 01 to the one that I currently have, I think it'll probably be like 198, something like that. So I think it'll be right under 200 grand if I spec a 01 the same way I spec my Z06. I think about 20 30 grand over sounds about right, because the Z06 is already a wide body. The only thing that's really going to change is just they're going to put a more powerful version of the engine. I mean, basically the same engine. They just basically changed things inside of it, added some turbos, put some more fans in front of it, and that's basically about it. So I don't think that's like what, more than 30 grand worth of upgrades in that car. Like I said, it's already a wide body. It's already got the same, necessarily had the same exact wheels, but everything is basically a very similar between the two cars. I mean, the only thing I can really see just from photos is that the body kit kind of changed for the wing, the front end grill area has a little bit changed to it. The hood has a big scoop in it. What the engine is basically about the same, like I said, with turbos on it. So basically everything else in the rear is basically about the same. So I'm thinking that, like I said, about 20, 30 grand for a 01 is not gonna be outside the realm of possibilities. So I mean, maybe someone could have bought a Z06 and a scat pack for the cost of a marked up Demon 170. Luckily for me, I didn't have to go through that crap because as I told you guys in videos, I had Dodge look out for me, and I didn't have to go through all that nonsense. So I still gotta meet up with a soldier and make a video about how me and the soldier's Demon 170 is my brother calling me. Let me talk to my brother real quick. Hold on. All right. That was my brother calling me. Ooh. Lethal Performance is the best Mopar shark LA County. Go to them. They got a low 8-second Hellcat named Escobar. That's pretty crazy. I think must got some guts to it. But I don't remember where I left off at, but I don't know. I think we're talking about the price, but oh yeah, I think we're talking about my Demon 170 and the cost of it. But yeah, I definitely would not have gotten Demon 170 if I had to deal with all that markup nonsense. And luckily for me, that Dodge stepped up and helped me out with that. And that's why I'm glad I got kind of like even though I talk a lot of stuff about them on camera, I do have a good, pretty positive relationship with them behind the scenes. But I'm not someone who would basically like sugarcoat what I see, because a lot of you guys come with a lot of BS that you guys are going through, especially with Stellantis and Dodge and how they try to get over it on people, especially when it comes to a point to where like as TK's been covering like nonstop all the crap and financial issues that Stellantis is in. Like they thought they was tough stuff the last few years with all this daggone money they was making. They're making all this money. They're making all this dollars. Like Stellantis was on a roll. They was selling cars like crazy. They was making all these millions and billions and dollars like over. They were doing way better than everybody else. And then they got slapped in the mouth in one earnings call and lost 50% of all that crap. And now they're getting sued by their own investors and shareholders and stuff. And come to find out, because some of the things that TK has said, that maybe the whole time when they was making all these all these great performance numbers and stuff, they've been fudging the numbers ever since. Because it's kind of crazy how they went from all this crap. They was like, oh, they're making all this money, and then bam, 1 year, what 48% in lost sales. But then now, especially watching stuff that TK is talking about. Now you got dealerships that want to close up shop, and people probably like, oh, dealerships ain't doing that. Dealerships ain't doing it. TK, you're lying. But then now you got news articles coming out about what was it? I think Randy Marion here in North Carolina, they're gonna close one of their stores and try to make Stellantis buy back I think it said $18 million worth of like inventory that they got from Stellantis. They're gonna basically make them buy all that crap back. And so Stellantis is in very deep doo-doo. I mean, they got so much quality issues that, I mean, golly, what was it? Indiana, like half of their Durangos are screwed up. They don't want to even release the other half of them. I mean, crap, the Hornet is one of the worst selling vehicles in America. The Grand Wagoneer is one of the worst selling vehicles in America. You got like, there's like no way this new Charter Daytona is actually going to do really any good. Like no one's going to buy this Charter Daytona. I mean, you're going to have a handful of people they're going to basically buy the EV one because they're going to try to be like a Dodge loyalist or try out Dodge, whatever, for the first time. But it's not going to be that many cars. And then you got until what, as I've been, reporting in the background for a while ago, that you have pretty much so much crap going on with these EV cars in the background that now that the Hurricane Charger is delayed until like second half of next year. The Hurricane engine has been in the Grand Wagoneer for almost 2 years, but it's going to take Dodge 2 more years to put it in a car. So there's something going wrong here. And it's not just that these new cars are messed up. The current cars are messed up. Because, I mean, you see it where pretty much any influencer has something wrong with a car. I mean, not TK, but OC Motivator, his freaking, what do you got? What do you got? A swinger? Freaking the leather on his doors coming off. I mean, but that's just something simple. That thing he said one time before that sometimes his door doesn't want to open up, right? I mean, I've noticed on my Demon 170 sometimes that sometimes my my easy exit, it doesn't want to pull the seat back and forth sometimes automatically. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't work. And then oh man, it's like then we had what stuff that we was reporting on where like some of these cars aren't coming welded from the plant, and this is like a gasoline car. What's going to happen when somebody straps on like a 5,000 pound or 4,000 pound battery pack underneath a car, and the car is not welded properly? How is that going to go? So it's like, man, it just so much crap is going on with these cars that they are going to be struggling the next 2-3 years. Because I mean, honestly, what is on the horizon that people are going to want to buy? I mean, I think I seen what that Jeep Recon is basically like a EV only Wrangler that's supposed to be coming up, I think, in the next year. Who's going to buy that? I mean, the 4xe Wrangler, that sucker is not selling well either. Like some states don't even want to even order it because no one is buying it. But then they're gonna go and still try to make an all electric Jeep, and then Tavares gonna come say we're gonna bring a $20,000 all electric tiny Jeep in like 2 to 3 years, but then they unveil right now a $80,000 Charter Daytona. And I'm gonna tell you guys with the Demon, they're the stuff that's just so out of field. They're just so out of touch with reality that they should have concentrated on making sure these current cars are still running, and then worry about this future crap. Because honestly, when I talk about my video earlier today about the Charter Daytona, that Charter Daytona interior is pretty damn beautiful. I will admit that. But it's crazy to think that they could not put a better interior in the Challenger and Charger and let that car run for about three or four more model years currently, as they're currently constructed. Do a little subtle changes, maybe change the headlights and grill a little bit, change the taillights a little bit, change the interior out, let those cars run for 3-4 more years, and then let them run until they can get this freaking Charter Daytona running. Because that Charter Daytona was supposed to be out this summertime. They were supposed to already be shipped at the dealerships on dealerships lots by June, July. And now they might not see them until Christmas because there's so many problems with this Charter Daytona in the background. And then you have a situation where, like, I got people who is messaging me who works there that's sending me photos of like all these Indian engineers that they flew in from India to try to go and fix all this EV stuff. And I show you guys in an article a few months ago that since they dropped my coin, but that since they laid off all these American engineers, they're importing people from overseas to come work on stuff. But like those people overseas don't know what they're doing, and then they had to go hire people that they fired to go send them to India to go have those Indian people fix what they couldn't get fixed, and then fire the people again. And now they bring those people in from India into the plants in order to fix issues with these electric vehicles. Like I saw a photo of the brand new Ram Rev. I saw a photo of that sucker. It's literally just sitting there in the plant as like a dud because it doesn't work. So that's why you don't even see anybody talk about the Ram Rev, because that thing has so many problems. I think my buddy was telling me like the first Ram Rev they made, they had to stop and take it off the line because it was taking so long to get the daggone thing down the line. Like, that's just crazy. But it's just crazy to think that, you know, like I said earlier in my video, that CEO has turned this company upside down to where they may not even survive 2-3 years. And they can try to hold out all they want to and not try to sell Chrysler, Dodge, Plymouth to, you know, Chrysler's great grandson, Frank, but they're only just hurting themselves. And then maybe, just maybe, their shareholders might get so pissed off because they got people getting, they got shareholders on multiple continents suing them. They got shareholders here in the US suing them. They got shareholders over in Europe suing them. That maybe, just maybe, that some of this crap that's coming out, it may get canceled because those shareholders are pissed off. And it seems everybody but Stellantis knows that this EV first nonsense ain't gonna cut it in North America. Americans aren't EV people. I mean, they're good in small doses, but they're not, you know, ready for prime time. And that Charter Daytona, I think it'll be pretty much like the second coming of the Dodge Hornet. There's gonna be so much fanfare, so much marketing for it, but no one's still gonna buy it. Because I was watching a video, I watched a commercial today where they got the guy walk up to a Hornet. There's a little kid version of him is in there. Hey, I'm your inner child. I'm going like, dude, like who in the heck even thought of this marketing? Like, it's clear that whoever is in charge of marketing now is not the same person that was in charge of marketing 4 or 5 years ago, or even just 3 years ago. Like, they just seem just so out of touch with the American public. It just wild. And we're literally seeing like the fall. It's like Dodge is like the modern day fall of the Roman Empire, or like the fall of Enron or whatever. Like whatever you can think of. What was one of the worst falls in history? That's what the trajectory of Dodge is on. They are basically on the trajectory of being just X'd out, because who's going to buy stuff from Dodge in the next 3 years? I mean, you have what, 2022, 2023 Durango Hellcat sitting on lots now that no one is buying because they're too daggone expensive. Even with power dollars, people still aren't buying these Durango Hellcats. And that's going to continue, I think, for what, one more model year, right? And the Durango Hellcat hasn't been changed in the last 5-6 years. It's still the same vehicle. The Hornet, no one's gonna buy it. This new Charger Daytona, no one's gonna buy the EV version. $80-something thousand for a Scat Pack. That like who even thought about even that kind of marketing? If you had a home run with changing the SRT 392 car into the Scat Pack name and hit a home run with that, that's basically going backwards, going back to calling it SRT 392. You basically just took people's mindset who's like, okay, Scat Packs normally like 40, 50 grand, and then now we're gonna double the price and make it an EV. That just one of the most dumbest things that I can't believe that someone actually did. Like someone actually thought that was a good idea to make an $80-some thousand Scat Pack. I mean, it is just wild. Somebody thought about that crap. But like, yeah, it just crazy, man. Like, I don't get what these dudes thought about doing. Just crazy. Just freaking crazy. Let me move this over real quick. Let me see if I can change this set real quick. But yeah, it just crazy that somebody thought that it was a very good idea to oh god, some dummy thought it was a good idea to make an 80K Scat Pack. I mean, shoot, like you can get a Tesla Model 3 for around 60-something grand, and that car is still gonna be faster than an $80,000 Scat Pack. I mean, you can get a Tesla Model S Plaid for like 90 grand, pretty much, like filled out, and it's gonna destroy a freaking Scat Pack. But I mean, they should have put the Hurricane. Like, I definitely agree with OC Motivate was saying. They should have put the Hurricane in the cars first and use the Scat Pack name for that high output Hurricane version, and then don't even make like a low, like only make a Scat Pack EV and a Banshee EV. That's all they need. They didn't need to make a RT EV, because even that thing's almost $70,000, which is freaking insane. That because I was looking at somebody's video that had like a RT's Charger Daytona, and that interior just looks freaking cheap, and that crap is only like 10 grand cheaper. That doesn't look like 10 grand cheaper than like the Scat Pack. So I mean, man, it is wild, dude. It is wild. Like, I don't know who in the world is coming up with this stuff. I don't know whether that. I don't know. Maybe that's why Kinesis dipped out. And Kinesis was like, I think Kinesis was like, man, he probably didn't want to do some of this stuff. He's like, man, bump it. I'm gonna get out before it really hits the fan, man. That's basically what he did. Like he didn't even stay on for like another couple months. He basically said, oh, he's retiring, 2-week notice, and I'm out. And so I haven't talked to him since he dipped out. All I know is he said he's gonna pop up somewhere else. So I'm just interested to see where he's gonna pop up at. But Dodge is a mess, man. And I really like Mac McClure, because as I told you guys in other videos, he was the one who helped me get my Demon 170. Well, he basically interacted with me in the background. Tim Kinesis got me my Demon 170, but I was interfacing with Matt like all the time. So I have a pretty good relationship with Matt, and it's just tough. I don't know if he can just steer the ship of Dodge where it's looking. There's like nothing on the horizon that's going to save that ship. Because I mean, I think I even asked him. I asked him like a month or two ago. I'm like, when is y'all supposed to even come out with the? When y'all supposed to come out with the what you call it, the Hornet GLH? Because I figured the GLH might be one that might maybe be a vehicle that people might like. But even then, he go like, oh well, we don't know whether or not we can get the GLH out. So the GLH Hornet might not never happen, probably because the Hornet is not selling. Period. But I mean, I think if GLH was like the fastest version of Hornet, it was like about 30, 40 grand. I think it would work. But it just wow, $50-something thousand for a Hornet hybrid. It just goes to show you that these guys are so out of touch. A Hornet hybrid is like $56,000. A Charger Daytona RT is like $68,000. And then you have a Scat Pack Daytona is like 82 grand. And I'm going like, man, how much that bench gonna cost? Like 110, 120? Even though that the Tesla Model S Plaid is gonna be probably in the 80s and 90s. Boy, like I said, there's nothing in Dodge that's coming out that's gonna save them. Like Dodge is gonna go. Like I don't see Dodge making a rebound. The only way I see them making a rebound if they just put a 5.7 in that freaking Charger Daytona. Now I did talk to somebody who's pretty close with an engineer, and they were saying that currently how they have the Charger Daytona, that Charger Daytona won't fit a Hemi right now because the strut towers are too close, because they basically just narrowed strut towers, because originally only the Hurricane engine was going in there. But I mean, honestly, a simple engineering fix will stretch the strut towers back out and they can put a Hemi back into their car. But I already know, I guarantee you, I bet you Cal SRT or I forgot the other guy. I think his name like Wesley Chaplin. I guarantee one of those two guys, or maybe even Tavares, is going to take a Charger Daytona. They're probably going to wait till a 6-pack version comes out, and they're going to Hemi swap and put a Hellcat in one. And hell, maybe Cal SRT, he gonna take a D170 engine, like he took one and put one in a, what do you do? Put it in a 300. I guarantee he gonna put one of those in those new cars. But as I said in my video, I think the new car is ugly. That new car to me seemed like it is like an unfinished prototype, and it's like I'm just still waiting for the actual real car to come out. So. I don't think the styling is there. I don't see people giving up their Charger, their well, I guess their regular Chargers and regular Challengers right now for this new car, especially when dealers play so many games. And I mean, I seen plenty of dealers that was marking up Scat Packs like 5-10 grand over sticker, and people was like that FOMO, that fear of missing out, basically got them caught up in it, and they all just spent over sticker for the car. And people are upside down in their loans, and I don't see them wanting to basically transfer that money they're upside down into a new vehicle that's slower than what they already had. I just don't see it. So, but what do you say about the 23 Challenger Hellcats now being advertised between $9,000 and $13,000 off MSRP? Should we wait, or $13,000 is a good amount to pull the trigger? Hey. I'll say this: all you gotta do is just shop around. Like, find a dealer, get a number for them, how much cheaper they gonna sell theirs, and keep calling around dealers. Hey, look, there's another Hellcat right here, blah blah blah, on the sticker. Can you beat this deal? And they can't beat it, call the next one. Just keep calling, and basically make these dealers compete against one another, because technically they're all screwed. And then some of these banks, they're not gonna want to spend MSRP on some of these cars, because these cars are technically almost 2 years old now, right? Some companies have 2025s already out on lots, and we're talking about 2023 Hellcats. 2024 only has like 3 more months left. So you're literally trying to buy a brand new car that's 2 years old, and a bank is not gonna want to spend a sticker for that car. Like the bank might tell you got to come up $20K out your pocket in order to get that car. So, I mean, I would nickel and dime these dealers because they deserve it. They literally deserve it. Because if it wasn't for them, those cars would have been sold if they wasn't playing games on prices. So I just say, just keep holding out. Just keep holding out. Like, if a dealer is not willing to sell that car for about 15 to 20 grand on a sticker, don't even worry about it. Because eventually they will. Because the only option they're going to have, other than paying floor plan on it, they're going to keep having to trade those cars to other dealerships to get them off their floor plan to reset their floor plan, or they're going to have to, they're going to lose money. They're going to sell it at auction. And they can't go put it on Mecum and Barrett Jackson stuff, because ain't nobody stupid enough to go buy one of those cars there and pay anywhere near sticker for it. Like, Dodge's appeal is so bad right now. Who's going to spend top dollar for a Dodge, especially a current model Dodge car? Like, the way this company is going, it has tarnished the values of other cars. Other than this one outlier of this Charter Daytona that went up for like what, $2 or $3 million at auction. I mean, that's an outlier. I mean, you got a car that's like one of I think like one of 5 or something like that was ever made. That's an outlier. I mean, there's like what, 3,000 demons. So it's not like you're looking at a one of blah 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 cars. You're just you're just not gonna see it. And then I mean, I just don't see it, man. I just don't see it. Because banks ain't gonna finance that crap. Banks gonna be like, dude, you're trying to buy a car that's 2 years old, that's been sitting on the lot almost a year or two. And like I said, 2025 cars are out now. And we're talking about 2023s that's been sitting there probably on the lot since 2022, and it's 2024 right now. Some of those cars, were sitting there since 2022. So you just never know. So I'm like, man, they're gonna have to what is this? But yeah, like I said, I just don't see it to where these guys are going to these guys are going to get near sticker for these cars now. Especially, it's gonna be a hard time getting these cars financed. Did you see repros up 38%? Because heck, the problem is, repos up because people paid over sticker for these cars, and then the interest rates were high. So we had like a double negative: high interest rates, high high markups on cars. So that's just a recipe for disaster. I mean, this Bidenomics is doing so good, repos are up. Imagine that. Um, I'm definitely gonna go and I know I've been on like an hour, but I'm definitely gonna go and get this video out talking about these basically these 4 Demon 170s that's going down the tube. Shoot, TK, I see you in here, man. We need to get up and definitely do some collab videos, because like I said, I've seen some stuff about the crap that's going on behind the scenes, but you obviously have gotten a lot more detailed information than that. And like I said, I gotta get caught up on this stuff. So I definitely think we need to go and either do a collab live stream or do like a collab video, and I think that'd be pretty cool. And and we can have a conversation about this stuff. But but yeah, like I said, I'm gonna go ahead and get off here real quick. But yeah, like I said, I'm definitely gonna make a video tomorrow about those 4 demons going down. I'm definitely gonna do a video about the the daggone shareholders suing Stellantis. I got a lot of then there's some stuff about the UAW. Like I saw that one of my buddies for the UAW, he sent me some information that the UAW actually almost voted their president out, and all the crap he's doing behind the scenes and all the corruption that he's about to be part of. Like he probably not even going to be reelected. That's how bad it's going on behind the scenes with the UAW. And I'm definitely, like I say, I'm definitely gonna get back into making videos and doing more live stuff. And Like I said, I'm gonna see you guys tomorrow. I'll probably get this video out by the morning time and then do another live stream later on that same day. Cause like I said, I need to, you know, get back into the swing of things. I kind of been down. But what'd you say? Oh, what'd you say, TK? Or fly out to OC and I'll roll out and we should all sit down and do a video. Oh yeah, oh yeah. I I definitely wanted to go fly to California. We can talk about that because I was actually talking to somebody today that I want to go fly to Los Angeles, and that would actually be pretty good because I can go fly out. We go meet up with OC. Me, you, and OC can meet up. We can go do a live stream. We can go out. We can go out to the club later on that night and party. So yeah, I'm hit you up in the group, TK, and we can try to figure that out. OC Motivator showed us that they still have markups in Orange County. It's still over 20-30K. Oh yeah, like I was like one of my buddies. He had a TRX stolen, and he was like, you know, in California, all the TRXs are between 30 and 50K over sticker. And so I told him, like, look, man, say less. I got you. I'll go find you another TRX, and I'll try to find you one as close to California as possible. And so I called around to like all the dealerships out there, and I found a couple dealerships that would sell a final edition TRX at sticker price. Majority of them was still 30 to 50K over sticker, but I found I think at least about two or three dealerships out in California that would sell their Foundation TRX at sticker, and I found some Arizona sell their TRX at sticker too. So there are some dealerships out there that will sell things, but like, you know, you just gotta go find them. And I'm pretty sure I can find anything. If somebody need help with something, just hit me up on social media. Just you know, my Instagram is Butter the Insider. So if you need me help you find anything, just let me know. That's one of the things I'm trying to work on in the background, is come up with an easier way for me to go and seek out these vehicles that are sticker price or below, and just go ahead and just boom, throw it out there so somebody can go grab them a deal. So yeah, like I said, I'm gonna go ahead and get up off of here, and like I said, I'm gonna go work on this other video. Let's see, folks that paid all that money for these Demon 170s and they aren't holding up, guess the 2018 Demon is the better buy. Hey, honestly, Chris, from what I've talked to people who own both cars, everyone seemed to like their 2018 Demon better. And the only other thing I've heard between that was that the Demon 170, they can't beat the performance, but they love the 2018 cars. People I know that owns both their cars. And I mean, I would love to go find my 2018 VinMatch car, 121. I know it's somewhere up in the New England area. I know somebody put red out wheels on the daggone thing and put like a wicker bill, like spoiler and all that crap on the car. So I know it's modified. So if I can find that car and to get it at a good price, I would love to have both my VinMatch cars together. And then I can really have a comparison of how both cars is. And then put that car back to stock. And then I got a buddy of mine who has like 4 Demon crates, and go get a crate from him and have like that full experience of having a VinMatch car with a Demon crate. I think that'd be like my ultimate Dodge experience. I think there's like nothing else I would want from Stellantis. The only other thing I want from Stellantis is I want another TRX and I want a Viper. Other than that, I don't want jack else. Cause there ain't nothing else that they have that I want. That's all I want. Hey, I see you, Jalen. Still wait for the podcast. Like I said, me, TK, and OC, we need to sit down for that, because I was telling them months ago we need to start like a podcast, so we could be on like Spotify and all that other stuff, and base all three of us be on there, and we'll have like 3 interesting perspectives. Like OC Motivator, he's a good financial person. TK brings in like the dealer perspective, because he was a dealer, and then I bring the perspective of like the customer and someone who does a lot of research to find stuff. So I think we will all have like a very interesting dynamic, all 3 of us together on a podcast, and then bring in like GMs, or like bring in people who work for dealerships and techs and customers and stuff like that, to have like conversations with them. Or, you know, we get to a point where we get big enough, and then we can go and bring in the CEO of Dodge. We can go bring in I know the head of Demon Concierge. I know one of the heads of Direct Connection and stuff, and have conversations with them about the direction that they're gonna go in the future, or like stuff they did in the past, or stuff that didn't happen in the past, like why they didn't make a Challenger ACR, why they didn't make why they really discontinued the Viper, why they didn't put any money towards the Hemi engines when they could have easily. Because one of my things I'm saying is they could have easily taken the 5.7, redo the 5.7, and basically make that engine get 500 horsepower, and then throw a single turbo on the daggone thing and get 600-700 horsepower, and throw another turbo on the 5.7 and get like 800-900 horsepower out of that car, because that's basically what the engine is in the Mercedes-Benz. What was that? The AMG GT. I mean, and like the Mustang, basically the Mustang has a 500 horsepower, 5-liter engine, and then the with the AMG GT is like a 5-liter bi-turbo car, and it has like 7-ish horsepower and stuff. So they could have took some of the technology out of the Hurricane, put it into the Hemi, made it more fuel efficient with turbos, since every engine now is turbocharged for efficiency. They could have did that. It shouldn't have been that hard. Just take one V8 engine. You don't need to have a Pentastar. You don't need to have a 5.7. You don't need to have a 6.2. You don't need to have a 6.4. Just have one engine, modify it 3 different ways, and be done with it. But that's another video for another day. But like I said, I keep getting distracted talking to y'all, asking me questions. So I'm gonna go ahead and get up out of here, and I'm gonna talk to you guys later. And I definitely had a video about the demons that went down in August, and I'm going to